Hello. Hey. All right. Perfect. Okie dokie. That was really odd there. I apologize, guys. That was laggy. Very laggy. So let's get it going and moving. That's funny. Okie dokie. Let's do this thing. Let's put a piece right in the center. Trying to go for a king side attack here. I'm going to try to see if I can't infiltrate in here and start plucking off these guys here. Let's see what we got here. This is when two passed pawns really come in handy. Boom. Okay, let's go into Fabiano's game versus Khrushchev today. That was a crunch. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, dokie. Let's see what we got here. Let's get on. Yeah. Yeah. I'm truly working on tactics and endgame study. It's really important to do that. And so that, excuse me, so that when I sit down and do the stream, I can play good for you guys and help teach you. That's the whole thing. And especially, I'm so excited today. Fabiano is the candidate for the World Championship candidate to face Magnus. He did it. Yeah, they they did really good, and so he did really good. I was really excited. He played this game. I'm gonna do it from white side of the board, He's really, really did good. Yeah. I was excited about that. Fabi really, he didn't have to actually go for this win because all he needed was a draw. But he went for the basically KO in this one when he didn't really have to. I think it was he wanted to make a his presence that he's here to play and not he's not going to just settle. That's what Maurice, Yazzer, and Jennifer said. As well, Magnus, when he got to challenge Anon, I think he was facing Aronian in the last battle. That's what they were talking about. I listened to their podcast during the time, and they said that he was down a pawn when he was facing Aronian. And he still was able to. Turned down the draw when all he needed was a draw facing Aronian, Magnus Carlsen, before he became the world champion. When he actually qualified for the Canadies tournament. And so that was kind of like they said that Magnus was, saying to Anon, yes, I could take a draw and be in it, but I'm going to go for the win even though I'm down a pawn. So that's kind of like you're kind of telling your challenger or the person you're challenging that you're here to play, and when you kind of turn down a draw, yeah. So that's what was said, and I agree that what you have to when you're going to be going for the world, you have to show a thing of power and force that you're not a pushover. You're here to actually be a challenger. You didn't work for like over 14 plus days to just not show that you're qualified to be a candidate to face the world champion. So it's going to be a pretty good tango in that. Excuse me, sorry about that. But yeah, it's going to be a sweet candidate, a sweet world championship. That's going to be really good. So let's see here. So they're doing the Russian game. Yeah. Exactly. It's going to be interesting to see what Magnus has in store for the openings for sure when he plays Fabi. So that it was really cool how it was really what the thing that Maurice and Jennifer and Yazzer said that this wasn't really his it's not like it wasn't his best game, it was his most solid game, Fabi's, because he played like with no errors in this game. That's what they were saying, is he was almost like perfect. If you could be close to perfect as a human, he was that perfect in chess. If you could play perfectly, and so this was more of one of his most solid games that he's played in a long while. The Aronian game that he played was actually his most. Moraes said most. Yeah, as they say, fireworks. It had a lot of fireworks and action and sparks and all those different type of explosion type of things for power attack. There was like he was coming here, there, smack, smack, crunch, 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 boom, 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 boom. This one is more, I'm building up. I'm gonna wait till you lose your step in the ring, and at the right time I'm going to give you a right, left, and then finally I'm going to give you whatever arm you're the strongest on, uppercut, and KO you. That's basically what this is. And he waited for Alexander to make one wrong step, and then he slowly squeezed him till he was basically done for. And so this was a beautiful end game squeeze. I really enjoyed watching this. So Alexander played Rook to E1. They both played good good chess. I'm not saying that Alexander isn't a good player. He just made one slight trip in the ring, and Fabiano saw that, and he basically just did a right, left, and uppercut, and it was over. But he built up. They were circling. If you want to think of it as a boxing match, they were circling for a while, and they were looking for the right time to, throw the jab. And um, Alexander made one small little mishap, and Fabi took advantage of it. And once you give an advantage to Fabiano, boy, you better watch out. He's going to go for the knockout. He's no mercy. It's kind of what you gotta have on the board. You're not playing the person, you're playing a board, and that's why you gotta separate for your feelings from the game. That's how you have to do it. And for Fabi, he knew exactly when the trip happened in the ring or on the chessboard, and that's when he moved in. And slowly but steadily, he did body jabs, punches, right, left, uppercut, all that, and KO. And that's basically what happened. And I was like, wow. So, but this is more, if you notice, solid. This is a solid structure. Nobody's Fabi's not gonna trade. He's making a loft for his king, just in case this opens up and there's a check. So everything is solidified. There's no knight infiltration, no bishop infiltration, no queen d2, because this queen guards it. This bishop could come there. This knight attacks here, so this bishop has to stay. This could be pushed. This could be pushed. Potentially, B6 has a idea behind it, so that when you takes, you can take over the open B file. So there's a lot to be a lot of ideas in this game. And so Alexander, he's playing solid, so this is actually 0-0-0, and they just solid structure. You know what? They're not. Fabi doesn't want to play any chances of giving Alexander any counterplay. This is a solid structure. If he takes, and then now he's got these two center pawn, not center, but one center and one side pawn, and it out majorities this, and Alexander would have also two isolated pawns if something like this happens. So those are two weaknesses that later on Fabi could hone his pieces on, potentially with like a c3. If this rook ever moves, you can go c3 with an attack on this bishop, and then boom, you lose the a2 the a3 pawn. So you gotta be very careful. And so now he takes, and look how strong this center is. It's like, whoa, this is like a rock. There is no if this gets traded off, look at this solidification of the center. This is a beautiful center. Also, he's got one thing over Alexander. He's got a knight, and so Fabi's going to want to keep the position closed so that his knight reigns supreme over the light squared. See, Jeremy Silman, international master Jeremy Silman, talked about imbalances. And the imbalance of this structure is the knight for the bishop. So when you have a knight, you want to like lock it down. Like c4 would be a very smart move. And then if he goes a4 after this bishop gets traded, you go a5, and you have a locked, you have a closed game, and then this knight can dance all over the board. Potentially maybe that first, then in, something like that, when this pawn's pushed, something like that, after maybe the trade. There's a whole bunch of different ideas. So he took, and now c4 was played. Beautiful. That's a beautiful move. Fabiano's playing his imbalance perfectly. See, he wants to close it. He doesn't want to open this, because if he opens it, it allows for an infiltration point here, and potentially infiltration point there for an attack. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep it closed. You want to go for a closed game. He also got a tempo on Alexander's bishop, the light square bishop. So now he gets a move, and then he goes b5. b5 is a really strong move. It locks this down, so that if Alexander plays a4, which he does, you play a6. And so if takes, takes. Now Fabiano's got, yeah. Oh, you know what? Well, you know what? With practice, you can improve. You know what? Just takes practice. That's the whole thing. Think about this. Fabiano's an excellent player, but it took him a long time to get that good. You know, they grandmasters don't start out perfect. It takes time, a lot of practice, and you know, just proper every day doing a little bit of chess, tactics, openings. You know, studying maybe Jeremy Silman's books, just some books, or even using an engine just to look at stuff like your openings. And that's a really cool. So that's what would happen if takes. He could then have now an infiltration point if something was like this. Then now you have the ability of potentially going here. Yeah, you know what? And you can always come on here. We do tactics on our stream. We do tactics. We talk over games. We play. I play games and I try to go over them the best I can. So you're always welcome to come. You guys are. And if you have any questions about stuff, like a move or something, you just type it in, and I'll do my best. Because I'm improving as well. I'm not a master or a grandmaster yet, but I'm getting there, and I'll do my best to answer it for you guys. So, if you notice, they're solid. This is a very solid. Alexander has a sitch. See, this move is beautiful because what it does is it allows the this square right here, the F4 square, to be covered twice. So he really can't push. It's going to cost Alexander a rook, or he's going to have to move his bishop back and potentially, I don't know how he's going to get that thing going. And he might have to go, maybe he'll retreat back here and then maybe push. No, actually he can't do that, can he? Wow. This is a Alexander is in a pretty big pickle here. Ouch. Yeah, these kind of solid structures are really hard. He's doing his best though with his bishop, so you gotta commend him, Alexander, for that, because he's trying to get his bishop inside Fabiano's territory by going to bishop to c5. One sec, gotta get a drink of water. Hold on. He's trying to get Alexander's trying to get his bishop into c5 so that he can attack this bishop, this rook, and try to get his pieces active with all of his might. He's doing his best to do that. So now Fabi just, you know, goes for, he sees a weakness and he, you know, takes scope on it, which is the e5 pawn. So, you know, two pieces, one piece is defending, excuse me, and so that this pawn will fall if it doesn't have a defender. So Alexander does what he can in the position, plays bishop c5, and I don't know if this is going to be able to be held. And now, well, there it is. So if you think about it, this bishop is Alexander's bishop, dark square bishop, is doing really a good job. It's defending these 2 points here, and it also has infiltrated from here, here, and in. So it's doing some work. but it's it reminds me of a oversized pawn, as Jeremy Silman would call it. It's a tall pawn, that's what he calls it. And because it's doing nothing but guarding, it is holding, but remember, knights love close positions, and so all this rook would have to do is go up, bring this knight in here, and then he can trade off and take the pawn, and then have a passer. Well, not pass, a majority when this pawn goes. It's going to take a little bit, but you can do that when you're with a actually he could just go up, come here, here, and then takes, and then bishop takes. So that'd be opposite color bishops at that point, potentially drawish, but that's all Fabiano needed was a draw anyway. So he doesn't really have a lot of pressure on him to go for the KO, and Alexander's trying to push as hard as he can, but in a situation like now, this is actually a beautiful move, because now you're depriving the king of these 2 points. So now all Fabiano would have to do is get a rook on the back rank somewhere along here, because you don't want to put it on these light squares here because of the bishop. Of course, you guys see that. See, light squared. So you want to stick on the dark squares if you can. So rook e2 is played, and now this pawn has to be defended. So g5 was played, and now Fabi's slowly, emphasizing the squeeze. He's squeezing. He's trying to lock down the king side, because Alexander's majority is on the king side, and the only way that he can get going is if these pawns get rolling. This bishop is like a inside of the works of a lot of machinery. If you get something stuck in there, it doesn't want to turn anymore. This bishop on g3 really stops these pawns from being well-tooled machine. It's all jammed up now. There's nothing that you can do unless you get the stick or machine or particle out of there. His structure is going to be locked. So somehow this bishop has to be removed for his majority to get rolling. But there's really at this moment no way you can do that, and Fabi's going to try to solidify that with probably an h5 and h4 maneuver, and just lock down everything. And then he has a majority on his side, on the queen side. So he's going to start working his majority. King f1, king f7. Now because there's not a lot of there's not a lot of open space, you can maneuver your king around. In a closed game, kings are good. You just have to be careful, though. My teacher told me that if you have a queen, if there's a queen out, you don't really want to move your king around, since the queens are off the board and there's really not a lot of open space in the center here. The king can maneuver a little bit, become a little bit of a fighter in the situation, and so now it's protecting this pawn. It also relieves, if the knight ever wants to trade, it can. And as well, it can come over here if need be and help these guys break the king open as well. So this is a very flexible move, the king to f7. They call it a prophylactic move. So now this is being defended. Bishop moves. AC1 8. The knight's defended. And if takes. So if this takes and something like that, he can just go back and challenge the rook. So no real threat. And so A1 was done. Now that's an idea, potentially. And then you win this pawn, and you have a piece. Yeah, for a rook you have a piece and a pawn, which potentially this could be if something like this happened. You do potentially have no, you don't want to take. Well, I guess you could. And you have something like that. I don't think it's that good for black, but yeah, it's not that good for black. I mean, it's actually better for white, but I was just showing you that potentially there's always sacrifices in the position. So the rook slides up. This actually would have here. This is the best, and he could double up here, and now he controls this open file. Alexander missed the takes, which really sunk his boat. You have to, otherwise what happens is, like now he's succeeded another 0.7 pawns, so now Fabi's up 1.3. You do not want to give a Fabi a that type of an advantage. Okay, dokie. D4. Oh, yes. Remember what we talked about? The back rank is weak. Now, this potentially will be mate if he can get there, because the rook has to block, and then the rook comes over, and boom, it's mate. A takes, C takes, knight takes, and now potentially there's a trade-off here, and he wins a pawn, and this back rank still is a weakness. So now he's solidified his back. He's kind of given the king flight now, right there. So after this knight moves, if it does, but Fabi's not going to let Alexander, just come in. This knight is perfectly placed at this moment. It guards this point, there, here, all these beautiful points, even here and here, So it's a powerful. Oops, I missed one. Sorry. It's a powerful piece at this moment. So now he's going for, if he plays here, oops, sorry, rook takes, and now he can actually win a pawn with an attack, and he has two passers. So you just got to be very careful when you do that. And there you go. There falls another piece. That pawn is falling. You got to remember, you have to make sure that the take is a proper take, because even though he gets a pass, even though Alexander gets a pass pawn, you have to remember which pawn is further down the board. The C4 pawn is. Excuse me. The C4 pawn is further down the board for Fabi. So and it'll queen on the same square as his bishop. So if Fabi can get here and get the pawn here protected by the rooks, it's going to queen on a square of the bishop, which means a piece is going to have to sacrifice itself for that. The rook will have to give its life up for the pawn. That's what I'm trying to say. So check, and then now do you see how the check actually was a mistake? So when he played the bishop there was a check, and this is really scary for Alexander. He can't come up here because you have to be careful. There's a potential checkmate idea. You have a pin here, and then oops, you got to be very careful. Sorry, I apologize, that's mate. No, don't move the rook, my bad. I have to remove that. It's mate, so he can't come up the board. So that means he has to go either forward, which is basically what he has to do is forward, because he's got to stay off the diagonals of the, and he can't even come up here which he would love to do because potentially there's a there's this here. I think. Let's see, check. And then check. I'm trying to see if I can get mate here. We got to be careful. I think I made a mistake there. Yeah, you got to be very careful. Oh no. Well, yeah, you don't want to move the bishop. So yeah, so we'll just forget that line. So he has to move forward. So so D8 was played, and now this bishop is kind of, if it moves, this is not fun. Soon it'll be potentially this pawn will get rolling, and the party's going to be started when this rook gets to D8, supported by its brother. Yeah, so rook moves there. Pawn takes. There was a sweet move that was discovered here that if he moves, I think it's, let me see, how was that? Oh, yeah. I think it's if he plays up here, you check, I think. I'm trying to remember. I had this. Yeah, you check here. Check. And then if he comes up, now you come up there. And if he takes, you now could check. And this bishop is going bye-bye. And now we get to see ya. And if he plays here, you bring your bishop in, and it should be mate 1 if I'm not mistaken, or mate 3, sorry. Boom, mate 3. So he takes, which is an okay move. This one's better though. If he comes here, now he loses this bishop, so the bishop would have to retreat out, and now in comes the forces, and rook takes, king goes forward, then oops, my bad. Yeah, you want to pin that, so they push there, and then now you can get your pawn rolling. If that gets going, now you pin the rook, and if there's there, you can just push, and then the bishop's gonna have to take, and you take, and it's a piece for a pawn. So I think Fabi would just win in this position. The computer likes Fabi's move, which was takes. Maurice found a line as well with taking there and all this, but Fabi just played, you know what, he just played standard. It's not bad. You know what, he's not there to win. He's there to play a solid, well, I guess he's there to win. One sec, I gotta get a drink. Sorry, he is there to win. What I'm trying to say is he's there to play a solid game, and he's got a pass pawn. If he can remove Alexander's pass pawn, then Alexander has to worry about this pawn here the entire game. And so Fabi just, you know what, you give me a pawn, I'll take it. I have power here, I got power here, this is protected now. There's nothing that you can do. And now he pushes, and if you take here, I believe it's a potential checkmate. I believe it is. Yeah, so he can't take this. If he does, he's basically done for. So that can't be touched, and so And remember, this can't be touched either because, remember, there's a check. I believe I did that right. Yeah, check. He has to move. And now you have a double attack on. You just win this, and if he wants to win a pawn, you do it. If he takes, you just move back, attacking his rook. If he wants to grab another one, get greedy. Actually, he can't grab another one. He'll have to go up. Then you get check, and these pawns start falling apart with here. And then after that, you check, and you know, not fun stuff happens to you on the back rank. So let's make sure I do this right. There. Okay, there. He moves back. Now Fabi's getting his pawns rolling. Rook goes up. And now this structure's all locked down. There's no way Alexander can move any pawns. So if he wanted to pass like a move or something, he has to move a piece now, which puts him in a Zugzwang almost. Very similar to Zugzwang. And he just moves his king in. Fabi. I believe he could actually win this. Let's see, if he plays here, I think it might be a draw. Bishop takes, and now I'm not sure if he could actually. I think he can infiltrate in, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, you have to be very careful when you trade so he doesn't do that. Rather than that, he's more than happy if Alexander wants to take, because then he'll take with his rook. Because let's say he takes, he's not going to take with the pawn, because if he took with the pawn, guys, it would be on the same color as this bishop, which then he would lose the power of the passed pawn on the same color as his bishop. So he's in a pickle at that point if he takes. So the bishop comes in, and it's now these pawns over here are free for the pluckins, as they say. Queen, rook A, and now this bishop is protected. So if rook takes, you can actually take back here, and if he comes up, you just start snapping off pawns, and eventually these will fall. Eventually that'll get going, and it's bye-bye. And so now he covers the back rank, which you got to be very careful. He has to move his king. And I think he has to move up here. Then you check. Okay. And now he's trying to trade off, and now this actually does work. This can happen with a take after takes, because this rook now guards the queenie square, which the queen would have to give up. I mean, the bishop would have to give its life up for it. So, you know, the only this was an error by Alexander. So D4, rook D4. He moved back. Rook B8, and then that was the losing move. You play a check here. When he moves back, I think you can actually come here with that. And I believe it's mate, so he'd have to take here. then it's all over at that point. That's a really hard move to find in time pressure, so I don't blame Fabi for playing f4. And now this now he finds it. And the king now moves in. Now there's no way to stop losing this pawn. This bishop, this if something like this happened, he just comes in. And if he tries something like maybe here, you just take, and if it takes, you can come over and take. If a check, then you come up, and this is eventually, you kind of have a somewhat of a Lucinda position with a rook coming over to G, and then after takes, that pawn gets pushed. So the bishop was a mistake. Check. King comes in. E5. This move solidified everything. There's no weaknesses in his Fabiano's structure. It's over. B7 was played, rook B7, and then king comes in, and it's game over. Alexander's best would be to move in there. Takes. Then if he tries taking, he just takes. If he plays with a check, he moves forward. He tries to go for the he just pushes, and then he just queens, and then if he takes, just move over. Bishop takes, and then king takes a rook, and check, and it's all over. It's got to be checkmate. You know what, when you're up a whole rook as a grandmaster, it's basically resignable. These players know how to totally use their rooks to mass effect. So back here, this is I believe that's when he resigned, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, here's when he resigned. So this, that doesn't work, and this doesn't work, and it's like, ugh, very unfun, let's just say. So that's what happened with the game, and Alexander resigned here, and Fabiano is now, I believe he's 2804, and so it's really cool. He's a candidate, a challenger, so hurrah, praise be to the Lord for that. Yes. Okay, we're going to get now into some tactics, our puzzles. And let's start into our puzzle phase of our course. Our channel, sorry. Let's see here. What I'm noticing is that we have a rook. Knight e5. The only problem with knight e5, do you see why knight e5 is potentially maybe a losing move? Yeah, it's right here. Because if you play knight to e5, it attacks the queen, right? But remember, this knight and this rook can come down and check. So if you go up, Yes, you're attacking, the pawn's attacking, but you have to be really careful as well because knight could actually take right alongside with that. So you have to always look for for pins, skewers, forks, and all that. So potentially, maybe the idea is queen takes might be the idea here. Queen takes check. Then if rook comes back to block, you can come back and take the knight on c6. But then you have knight takes rook check. You take the knight and rook comes back and takes that with check. I think we're still okay. Well, he does have queen there winning that. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if we like that too much. I'm thinking first and foremost that, but I'm not sure because he could actually he can't. Well, he could do a nope. He can't do that because the queen would take it. So rook to g2 looks very forcing. In my opinion, that's the most forcing line. These moves look very tempting, but remember, there's a ton of attack. It's okay, not a problem. You could always put in. You know what? We're willing to go over tactics. You know what? That's the whole thing. There's no wrong answer. There's only what the computer Stockfish 9 wants to play. If we play rook to g2, is there anything that he could do? Even if he plays there, we can take. Takes and takes. So we win there. So he has to be very careful with this rook here. Yeah, I like rook. Oh, you're kidding me. Don't tell me it's this. Huh. Go figure. Well, I guess then you could. No, that's not it either, huh? Wow. Oh, you could take after that. Okay, and then you put there. Okay, I missed that. Rat. But I actually I wanna see why mine was not the correct line. What did I miss here? Yeah, I was thinking after this. What am I missing here? Where? Where do we lose our rook? Oh, it's a draw. That's the reason. Okay. Okay, let's hammer into this now. Yeah. Let's take a look at that, because that was an interesting idea that I was kind of considering. I want to see. I was wondering what would happen if he comes back here. Oh, nice. There we go. We just tear his whole structure apart. Wow, that's power. That's power, guys. Do you see that type of power? That's what we got. That's what we have to learn. Wow, that's just like destructive right there. It's demolition. Wow. You gotta love that. That's a power tactic right there. That's like an obliteration tactic. Hey, wouldn't you love to drop one of those on the board? That'd be fun. And then you see a hand coming over to the other side going, wow, how'd you do that? Then you can say, well, I learned it on puzzles, with puzzles. Or you can say I used the talent the Lord's given me, so perfect time to ministry on that. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Let's see, D takes C. Takes, and then he snaps off a rook. So C takes, yeah. C takes D is a line that could be played. That's not the best line. This is potentially a line. And then if he takes here, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Queen B6. What does that do, though? What does Queen B6 do, though? Yeah, but I'm just wondering, what does it do, though? Yeah, because here, there, sorry, if I play here, there, takes, yeah, then, yeah, I see what you're saying. So I'm trying to see, do we, potentially, maybe it's actually Queen D7. Our Queen B, maybe it's Queen B7. Because then we have, if he, so Queen B7, pawn takes, and then we take there, and there's a fork of the two pieces. I think it's Queen B7, if I'm not mistaken. Queen B7 makes the most. What do you think? Queen B7? Because if he takes here, then we can actually take back with a double attack of the queen and knight, and the queen can't take because of boom, we have a bishop there. So I think queen b7. What do you think, guys? Yeah. And let me see here. So we take the knight, yeah. Oh, yikes. Oh, ouch. I missed that. Oh, drat. I moved too fast. Missed that he was going to trade that off. And then takes. Yeah, then it's rook, yeah. Yep, exactly, and that was my fault there. Then we come over, he grabs this pawn, and we're fine, and we opened him up. Yeah, we'll get it back. That was my I was too fast on the takes. I didn't think what was his idea behind that move. I didn't use the Aikido principle. I kind of reacted more than thought. So that was my problem there. That was me. I played reactive chess rather than proactive chess. Let's see, we have a potential threat of we play knight g. Nope, that's bad. We get backward mate. Well, let's see here. If we played there, he came down. Oops, played here. He came down, checked. We put our knight there. If we came over here, we checkmate. Trying to see if there's any other. Let's see here. If he plays there, we again could take. See here. Here it takes. If he checks, we move our knight the same way. And now we're threatening mate with our queen over here. So I'm seeing knight b or g5's knockout move. What do you think, guys? Yeah, what do you think though? Knight knockout. What do you guys think? I think it's the knight KO with knight to g. Knight g5. What do you think? Yeah, I'm liking more. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Huh. Interesting. That's different for sure. Very, very different. Huh. Let's go back. I want to see why that one isn't. I want to see why a knight. So it's a draw. Oh, you're right. Idea was we'll give that a shot. Hey, why not? You know what? It's worth. Let's take a look. Okay, let's see why. Nice. Actually, that's not a bad idea now that we think about it. So if queen takes, well, we're down our whole rook, so that's an interesting idea too. Wow, there's a lot of ideas there. There's only one that the computer liked though, so. Thinking knight, rook takes d6, queen takes d6, rook check on h on f7, king takes f7, and then queen snaps off the rook. But I think that's too obvious. Is that a little too obvious though? Hey, how you doing? 100. How you doing? 100. There's this here. I don't really like that. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's too slow of an idea. I don't know if that's too slow. I know we can win a queen in this scenario though. If we take here, 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 king takes, we'd snap a queen off. So I'm trying to think. I think we win. We actually win in that scenario. Here, here, there. Yeah. It is a little interesting. He could potentially try. No, he can't do that. So the bishop can't take on f7 because it's pinned by the queen. So that's why I was thinking something like that. I just don't know if this is too slow though. Because I don't know if he can just move with his king and then he's out of that. I'm not sure. Something's ringing that that has to be the move. Then we snap the... I'm trying to see, is there anything else that we have? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's actually what I was thinking. Let's give it a shot, because... There we go. Smack, we win a queen. Sometimes you have to go with all the tactics that they give you. That was a sweet tactic that they allowed us to solve. Yeah, well, I'll go over your line Foss, because it's we got to take a look to see why. We'll see if there is if that was the second best, because there might be a let's see here. Yeah, that was the only sitch that I saw the king can move at this point. And our chance of, because we're down a whole piece for a pawn, we're down a minor piece, so I don't know if we can. Yeah, that was the problem I saw, was that he can move. Oh, your idea was king D. Okay, we'll give it a shot. Let's take a look. Okay, so king D7, and then rook F. Okay, rook F. Bishop takes. Rook takes. And then what was the other, what was your final line? What was the line after this? Because I don't think we can. Queen H8. Okay, and then the rook intercepts, and I don't know if we have anything. And we have a back rank mate idea, so yeah. Yeah, but there's really no way. We'd have to sack our queen and something like that. Yeah, yeah. The idea would work if we didn't have a back rank problem. See, the idea would work. It's just we don't have a back rank. We have a back rank issue. Tells you you gotta watch your back rank, because that really does stop you from doing some sweet combos. Because then you wake up, you look at the board, and there's a rook on your back rank, and your opponent says checkmate, and you're like, what? I could have. You mean if I would have just made a spot for my king to go to, I could have done this beautiful combo? Yep. But back rank's been the demise of a lot of many a kings. So let's see here. Trying to see, do we have any like, could we take here? Nope. It's black to move in this scenario. Does that deliver mate though? Yeah, let's see here. So here, here. Hmm. Let's see. Trying to see if there anything that we're missing here. Yeah. So let's give it a go. Then we snap off the knight. When queen takes, we take back and we win a piece. I think you're right on that. You were right on the queen move. Let me see. Do we take? Let's see. If we take here, and he takes, and we take. I don't really see any problem with taking. Ouch. We sacked another piece to open up this file here for us to resack our own queen to be up a whole piece at the end. At least we're up a piece for and he has a pawn, so but his pawns are horrible. Oh, you want to look at that line? Okay. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, very long-term attack. Hey, it works though. The idea does work. It just lengthens out the game longer. I believe it's bishop b4 that attacks the rook. So he has to move his rook or take here. Basically, he would take here, and then we win a knight. We can't do mate in one yet because the knight guards that. Yeah, not a problem. Hey, you know what? Thank you for participating. That's the whole thing, is for everybody to learn. That's it. That's what it's all about. Let me see here. There is that. But see, the only problem with bishop to e5, Fox, is once we take, the pin's gone, so he can actually take our bishop at that point. So if we go here, and then he moves back, and we take, he can actually take at that point. I was thinking bishop takes f4, but then that actually gives him the ability to have a spot to go to. Yeah. Huh. I don't think that's right. Yeah, I don't think that's right, because I think he could actually go there at that point. Well, then we have, nope, 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 b5 4 is wrong. That's wrong. It has, and then it must be bishop takes pawn. No, well, is it bishop takes pawn, right? Because he can actually come here attacking our bishop. So I think it's bishop takes f4. Now that I think about it, because then if knight takes f4 after here, knight takes f4, then we win the rook. So he can't really take. And then now we have a potential discovery. Yeah, I'm thinking this is the best. Otherwise, what happens is he comes there. So yeah, that has to be the best. Boom. We're so close to mate. Drat, if we can only get a bishop there. Yeah. If we give him our right there, bishop to d4, then we can deliver mate. Yeah. Oh, the Ravio. Oh. Hmm. Huh. Okay. Drat, missed that one. That really should have looked too obvious sometimes. Well, these are just puzzles. I'm not sure. They just give you a game from people who have priorly played online, and these are tactics that you have to, or puzzles that you have to find. They're a mix of everything. You have your assortment of all different types of things. Drat, I wish I could, yeah. Trying to see. Because if we take here, takes, back, check, and we don't get anything for that. Huh. It's too bad that, yeah, first of all you have to, oh. Yeah, that's, yeah. Let's see here. Ouch. Yep. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. Yeah. You did good. Yeah. I missed it. I thought for sure that that was gonna, the G was gonna work, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We'll get it. We'll recover. Don't worry. It's actually black to move. We're black, not white. See, he moved from here. So actually, I believe it's queen check is maybe a win. Let me see here. No, no. Let me see. Hmm. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There we go. Now we're on. Now we're on upward and we're going up now. Hmm. Hmm. Just 1 sec. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see here. So if we play knight takes knight, bishop takes, bishop takes, takes. Give me up. Not sure if I like that. I think this is the right step, and here, and then F5. I'm thinking F5 might be the next step in that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking something like bishop F5 potentially. After we trade here, then bishop F5. Let's see here. Let's see F5. First of all, you have to get this knight out of here because you don't want to fork to a land on the board. So you have to take first, then bishop takes F5, and if takes here, you win the knight. So first of all, that has to be played. Then F5. Yeah. 4 points? Really? That was a pretty good one. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, it does. It's kind of one of those subtle moves you have to find. Let's see. He castled queenside, so how could we take advantage of the queenside castling? Huh. Interesting. I have a feeling, though, if we play here, that he potentially might sacrifice. And then takes, and then takes. That's my only sitch. But more likely is going to Trying to see, does G4 really help us? Well, it does kick out the... At that point, we could play there, takes, takes. Huh. Remember, he can also go back after that. So if we play here, he could just go back. But then we win the knight. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. There. Let's see, knight moves here. Takes, knight takes. Takes, queen takes. Let's see here. Very long line. Maybe it works. Give it a shot. Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping this is right. Yeah, okay. But the line is correct. So after here, we take, he takes, we take, he takes, we take, he takes, and then we take, and we're up a piece. A whole exchange, a whole piece. I'll do this one, then I got log. Come on, let's find the right path. Okay, find the right line here. Let me see here. You know what? 100. You're on the right track. You're doing good. You know what? It took a while for us to catch on with puzzles, so don't feel bad. You know what? Sometimes the best thing to do is to sit back and learn. That's how I started out improving. Was I watched. So don't ever worry. We're all in this as a team and group. Me too. I was really excited about that. He truly deserved to win it. He played some really wonderful chess. uh, uh. That's a good. You know what? First of all, you have the right idea of 100, but we first have to be careful with um, this takes here, because we could take there. Oh, wait a second. That's not a bad idea now that we think about it, because this does attack the queen, doesn't it? Huh. Let's see here, there. But is that the route we want to go down though? Is the queen almost trapped? That's one thing we have to keep our eyes on. Is the queen almost trapped in this scenario here? I'm trying to see if we can trap the queen anywhere, because she's almost trapped. If we go B4, she has really one square to go to. Can we emphasize anything? Potentially, we could play bishop F4, taking advantage. Nope, but then she can come back and just snap that off, so we can't do that. At that point, we'd have to play bishop takes a knight, but then the rook's under fire. Ouch. So if we push here back, we have knight takes, knight takes. We do potentially have takes there, so. Yeah, I'm trying to, I think. That's what I'm trying to see if it actually works. Let's see, if we take there, he takes here, queen takes. Do we have rook to h3? No, because he's got a fork here. Snikes. That's not fun. You gotta remember this bishop. Oh, see, the bishop is free to roam, so we have to take it off the board. Yeah, if we take here, we move there, he goes there, then we have to take here. Because otherwise we can't bring our rook to h3, it'll get snapped off by the bishop, so... Yeah, that's the only sitch that I could see for our position. I think we do have to remove the knight, though. This is kind of like a forced move. I think we do have to remove that. That's kind of like a force. Otherwise, he could take here and then cause a lot of problems. He also has a pain of a knight for an attack here as well. So I'm trying to see. Do we have to remove the knight with? Bishop takes e4. Let's see, bishop takes e4. Takes. Knight takes. Takes. Actually, he could potentially just take there. So if we play bishop takes, 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 takes. Well, then we can take there, can't we? With a rook. Well, yeah, we could take with the rook with a double attack here. So you'd have to take with the pawn. Yeah, I'm thinking we have to take... Oh, really? Okay. Okay, yeah. Yep. We'll do one more in this. Well, let's see if we can smash through this in a reasonable amount of time. Okay. equal. Let's go. We'll go back and we'll take a look at that line. I just wanted to see what the computer thought. Okay, so you're saying E takes, okay, D takes G3, Queen takes knight, and then takes here. Yeah, knight's got to take here. Yeah. So I don't think we can hold in that scenario. That was a good try though. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see if we play rook takes knight, pawn takes, queen takes. This knight really cramps everything, so we have to somehow get rid of it. So I'm thinking we have to sack the rook for the knight. Let's see if we played G5. Bishop takes G5. Pawn takes G5. Queen takes G5. No, we get checkmated on that scenario. Let's see if we play rook takes. Let's say he tries to double up there. We can block here, and then if he tries coming back, I don't know. Do we get anything for that though? I don't think we get anything. Yeah, I think you're right on that. I'm gonna give it a go. Oh. Okay, well. What is the solution? Oh. Let's try one more so we can get to 1300. Let's work real hard here. Yeah. It's okay. Let's see, this one should be a walk. Let's see, if we take here, he takes, we take, and we should, nope, nope, nope. The queen guards that. Nope. Bad move. Don't want to be too hasty in that scenario. See here, here, takes, check. The king moves. We check. It comes up, we push, check. Yeah. See here, here. That's right there. Oh, I see. Then up, then slides over. Then after it takes, we take with our queen. Okay, gotcha. Okay, we'll stop here. You know what? Great job, guys. You know what? we'll get back. You know what? We learned a whole bunch in that scenario of stuff. So you know what? Don't worry about it. You know what? We're learning. As long as we learn from it and keep getting better, that's the whole thing. Remember, keep studying chess. Congratulations to Fabiano about being the candidate, and you know what? We gotta also thank the other players, Super Grandmaster that played as well, because you know what? They gave it their all, and so you know what? Respect them as opponents and say, well done. And you know what? That's one thing that they should do is thank also the other candidates who were trying to, win as well. And remember, only look back to learn. Keep moving forward. Hannibal Smith says there's always a plan in position. Just gotta find it. When you do, you get to say, I love it when a plan comes together. And as always, guys, remember what Wesley So says: serve the Lord Jesus. And as I say, God bless, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a great rest of the night and be blessed. And, congratulations to Fabi. See you guys. Bye bye.